Hey, what's up, guys? I am Tommy, a trans Latino queer man living in Florida. If you've been following my channel for a while, you know I've been talking a lot about the IVF process that me and my girlfriend are going through, and some of the changes and things I've had to go through to go through that process. I know I've talked a little bit about the effects of not being on HRT. So just to update you, if you haven't been following, when you are a trans man and you are going to the IVF process, you have to stop HRT. Now, if you're going to have the child yourself, then for sure you have to stop HRT. And then if you are just providing an egg, you have to stop HRT temporarily. So I am just providing the egg and I have to stop HRT temporarily. I've been off of HRT basically since November. But even though I've been off of HRT, I still go and do regular blood work about every 3 months or so for other reasons. And there's something that I really want to talk about, which is like trans man health. Reason why I want to talk about this is because it's not a topic that I see a lot of guys talk about, period. Mainly the topics are, gender dysphoria, societal acceptance, things of that nature. And all those things are valid and important, but I really want to hit on our health. Now, some of the effects of HRT are awesome. Hair growth, more masculizing effects, the redistribution of fat on your body. So things that cause you dysphoria don't cause you that much dysphoria. If you like to work out and if you really push yourself in the gym, you can gain muscle mass, things of that nature. Now, in particularly in my personal journey, I had been on HRT for quite a while, but I was also bodybuilding competitively, so I was taking gear, anabolics. Don't judge me. I won't judge you. So, with that being said, when I go do my blood work, there are things that I am very aware of, and so is my doctor, and we mitigate whatever situation that arises. Right. So, a couple of things that I'm always aware of: my cholesterol, my kidney enzymes, and my liver enzymes. Because both my kidneys and my liver and my cholesterol, which happens to do with your cardiovascular system, can be affected by HRT and, of course, the gear. Now, in my walk of this, I've had scares or alarms. The first alarm came with my kidneys. They were like, "Oh, your kidney enzymes are super, super high." At the time I was competing, so I knew that was a thing. I was literally like in prep, and I remember having the conversation with a particular doctor because she was so animate about my blood work. She was like, "I have to get your blood work. I have to get your blood work." And then I proceeded to tell her, I'm like, "You can. However, just know that I am competing right now and that it's going to be all wonky. So don't freak out. It's only temporary." So she basically does exactly what I tell her not to do. She freaks out, right? Orders all these tests. And at the time that I couldn't afford the test because the test was $10,000 and my insurance was not going to cover it. And so I also knew again this was going to be temporary, so I didn't worry about it. As soon as I was done competing, I go through the usual protocol of reducing or eliminating all anabolics, staying on HRT, and getting back to like normal levels. I don't really sweat it. However, since I've been off HRT, my kidney enzymes and my liver enzymes have been quite beautiful. I've been very, very happy with the numbers. So far, so good. My cholesterol, on the other hand, has always been a thorn in my side. And I thought that maybe not being on HRT or anything of the sort, that would really, really help. And I was very wrong. So my cholesterol is still high. It turns out that I have genetically high cholesterol and I have to continue to take statins to mitigate that. That's neither here nor there. I've been dealing that with that for quite a while. The other thing that came up with this last blood test was my red blood cell count. Normally, when you're on HRT, the red blood cell count is high, and so if you have to do things to mitigate that, If you are a trans man and you are able to donate blood, donate blood. That helps keep the red blood cell count. So that's a tip from me. So it was very alarming to me when the red blood cell count was low. I was freaking out. And then I went and did a Google search to figure out what this meant. When the red blood cell count is low, the hemoglobin count is low, and the hematocrit count is low. Turns out, according to the Google search, that it could be signs of anemia. So I went to my doctor and we talked a lot about it. And he was, we're going to do the supplement thing, change my diet. And in September, we will go ahead and retest. Which gets me to another topic on trans men health, which is really important. And I think I've hit on this before, but it doesn't matter whether you are in a relationship or not. Every 3 months, you should get tested. You should get tested for STIs and make sure that your blood work is good. And then on top of that, if you can, again, whether you are in a relationship or not, get on PrEP, right? PrEP is basically a pill that helps you prevent the transmission of HIV. Why is that important for trans men? Well, a lot of us are not necessarily straight. We don't only sleep with women. Some of us sleep with men and women. Some of us just sleep with men. And in my particular experience as a trans guy, your dating pool is rather small. And there are a lot of people who fetishize us and want to have sex with us without protection. And that isn't cool. But I've also known and been there when your self esteem and your self worth isn't where it needs to be, and you put yourself in dangerous situations. So at least if you're taking PrEP, that's one thing you're not going to have to worry about. And you're protected in that particular way. Also, if you happen to know that you were exposed to HIV, then there's a pill you could take. I think you have about 24 to 48 hours after exposure to take this pill called PEP. And that also prevents the spread of HIV. That's another tip. Notice, as I said, it doesn't matter whether you are in a relationship or not. You should always protect yourself. Always be aware of what's going around in your health. Sometimes you get STIs and STDs from weird situations. It could just be an accident, and sometimes you do actually get them from sexual situations from a partner that you thought loved you, you thought you could trust, and turns out that you couldn't. And that happens to anybody, straight, gay, trans, or all around the world. So just protect yourself because protection is awesome and better safe than sorry. The other thing about HRT that I think I want to talk about, or I know I want to talk about, excuse me, is mental health. I didn't appreciate how much HRT helps me with my mental health until now. Now that I've been off of it, my dysphoria and my body dysmorphia has been kind of haunting me and making me feel all sorts of ways, and so that's been really hard to mitigate. Now, I'm more than ever do I feel like gender affirming care saves lives because it is more uncomfortable to be in the body that I'm in and sort of just feel like myself. I really can't explain how it feels, but it really drives home the nature of HRT and how it really is life saving for trans folks, especially for those of us that have more body gender dysphoria, excuse me, more gender dysphoria than others do. But I do notice the difference that I'm not on it now, and I haven't been on it since November. When the IVF process is over, I'm going to get right back on T. Now, if you are one of those guys, I know a couple of guys that do this that skip doses and just they're just not on top of their dose. I'm telling you, get on top of your dose. It does improve your quality of life by leaps and bounds. So stay on top of your dose. It kind of, especially if you've been on T for a long time, you kind of can take certain things for granted, but don't. So don't take your sexual health for granted. Get tested every 3 to 6 months. make sure that when you are being sexually active, that you are protecting yourself. You never know. You just never know. It's better safe than sorry. Make sure you're taking care of your cardiovascular health. Pay attention to your blood work when it comes to your hemoglobin, hematocrit levels. Go and donate blood if the red blood cell count is too high. That really helps with that. And then take care of your mental health. You know, I in particular facilitate a support group of trans people every third Friday of the month, and I really focus on bringing a positive aspect to the trans experience because it is so easy to get caught up with all the negativity that's been thrown at us right lately from people who don't really know about us. They don't know. They really don't know any trans people, and they are too busy believing most of the disinformation and misinformation that's out there. And that's just the reality of our lives right now. So take care of yourselves. Take care of your mental health. Take care of your physical health. Take care of yourselves. Be blessed. Have a good one.